Um, Hi guys. Hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me? No? Why? Strange. Can you hear me now? Cool. Thank you. Thank you for confirmation. Okay. Let's get started. Not so many people here, but it's like, okay. So we have our core community, and this is the most important. So yeah, so this is like Friday's AMA, and let me just make some intro and announce a couple things for the next week, and then we can chat as we usually do. Not so many people here, so it's gonna be nice and cozy. So yeah, so what happened last week? Not much publicly. Otherwise, we have been working on units mostly, and there is like one missing part here in terms of development. This is the bridges, and the bridges are being tested. And basically, yeah, so once we have tested them, you will be able to test them as well. And in terms of development, we're almost there. In terms of marketing, we have been preparing a couple things. So basically, I came to tell you that we are starting the influencer campaign on Monday next week. And we are starting the TVL campaign on Tuesday next week. So basically, I came here to tell you that. And I can wrap my today's email up now because I told you everything I wanted, basically. But I can also give you a couple like maybe details here. So some details are needed. Basically, for TVL campaign in the first place. TVL campaign is going to be for waves only for now, and we will add other assets later, but for now we start with waves. So you'll be able to stake your waves on a smart contract and get some unit zeros in return. And it will be integrated also in this questing platform that you can find on units.network, and where you can see your points for participating in a testnet campaign. So we're gonna have it all in one place. TVL and testnet will be in one place. It's all gonna be in points, and those points will be swapped into units. So guys, this is it. EMA is over. But no, of course, let's chat. And basically, I know that you have some other questions. So let me just scroll up and reply to some questions. Bit Street, thanks for bugging. Double X team, I have received all my bridge transfers. Thank you, man. Thank you. Damn late message. You're not the first today, Phoenix. How are you today, Sasha? Hi, Carlos. How are you? I'm good. ¿Cómo estás? Please give us some good news about NSBT. Let's wait for units. I think, guys, we need to wait for units, and units can boost all the rest, and it can really kick off a lot of activities in all other projects. So let's just wait for units. How are you today, Sasha? I'm good. A bit under the weather, maybe like have some cold, like Joe Biden. Like I don't know if you saw this, but it was pretty embarrassing. I really like the guy, but like so it's some kind of like elder abuse. Okay, but we're like going on a tangent here, so let's stick to the point. Yes, you will have to stake it with a special contract, right? Pepe team has prepared this contract, and it will be like unveiled on Tuesday. What about XTN? XTN has been bought back. We have some ideas, but a bit too early to announce that because we're still discussing with the miners. I would like maybe to have some like parallel process, so of course everything depends on units right now, but it would be good to have some like extra firepower, besides units to actually expedite the resolution process of XTN situation. So I'm thinking about that as well, but I'm not ready to make some announcements yet because I've done a big announcement right now. So we are starting influencer campaign, KOL campaign, blogger campaign, whatever you call those guys. We started on Monday, and TVL for Waves is starting on Tuesday next week. Yes. Coinex is delisting NSBT. I don't think it makes sense because there's not so much there, so it's like no problem. Why should actually, it's not a big deal because it's mostly in the DAO, and I don't think there is a lot of NSBT in circulation. Maybe 100K. This is like insignificant. Sorry, I have some problem. I have some like nasal thing, inhalator, thigh thing, and I kind of like put it in my eyes. Sorry. And it doesn't feel good. A very good thing, by the way. If you're in Thailand, bring me some. It's called Vapex. It's some like Thai herbs and stuff. Yeah, okay, let us know. Yeah, so I'm doing a lot of podcasts recently, so and I'm gonna do more because several were like recorded, and they need some time for production. But there's going to be several podcasts coming out now. And what else? Yes, on Monday I will have something like offline podcast in the studio, and more things are coming. So basically now we're finally starting with the marketing campaign. So, but we have time because the launch is scheduled for August, and we have around 2 months to basically make sure everybody knows about units. The Railways campaign for how long? At least 2 months. I'm thinking it's going to be either 2 months or maybe even more. And there's going to be also other assets eligible for participation, but a bit later, because we need to ramp up the testing campaign a bit first. Okay. What else can I tell you? So, yeah. So there's like a lot of articles coming out as well. Today, I think we had the first article. You can find it in my Twitter. Oh shit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm stupid. Yeah, it's on crypto.news. I wrote an article about like blockchain in traditional business. Very interesting topic, by the way. You know, so because there is a lot of things that work in crypto, and they can also work in real world businesses. You know, for example, meme coins. I think some big corporation is gonna launch a meme coin soon. They basically try to launch like NFTs. Actually, I think all American brands launched NFTs. If you remember, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, they all had NFTs, and it was all very unsuccessful. Because I think they should be launching meme coins. You know, if, for example, Coca-Cola or Disney launches a meme coin, this is going to be big. And I think it's coming. You mentioned several podcasts, but for which communities? It's on YouTube. Yeah, for now in English, local communities on the way. I promised to do a Russian AMA, and I will do one. As for Korea, we found some partners in Korea right now, and we're starting working with them. And I'm gonna be there for Seoul Blockchain Week in September. And also we have other communities. Turkish, for example. I think we need to do something in Turkey as well. And some other places. Latin America is important. We have a sizable community there as well. So yeah, let's just start with English, like awareness first, because like we need to work on public perception, because I'm not gonna hide it from you guys. We have had some problems with that, you know. You probably heard about it, so we need to somehow make sure people understand what we do, at least. So it doesn't stay within the community. Some like people outside our community should know about what we're doing. Yeah, so this is my goal now, to do this like outreach, some kind of like a PR campaign, to make sure people know what we do, I saw some people developing other chains, like good for them, guys, good for them. So because what we are doing now, we're launching units, and units basically an EVM chain as well. It's on top of Waves, but it's somehow Ethereum compatible. And you just need to face the reality, right? So if EVM chains are big, okay, it means you have to live with that, So, and I'm not against other chains, of course, because it's not actually about chains. All chains are more or less the same, So maybe it's about something else. It's about ecosystems, and maybe it's not about the tech somehow, It's about the governance and the community. 6 hours from Dubai. Do you want to visit Mauritius? Yeah, I know a lot of people who go there, So I actually pretty interesting. Yeah, never been, but I would love to. Open virus vesting and make XTM free. Yeah, people like shit. I'm crying. People suggested that in the chats, and I've had some discussion. And I also made a poll in some internal group, and it was 60 to 40 in favor of releasing XTM, but it wasn't very conclusive. And I just don't see the benefits, and somehow nobody wants to make a virus governance proposal. So it all comes down to some centralized decision, basically to myself, So, and I'm thinking like, what are the benefits? Because it's not clear why it should be done right now, because it's not gonna expedite the process of like buying back XTM, because some people won't be selling it at this low price, and they will wait till the price is higher. So, and if you like buy something back at a very low price, it doesn't mean that actually you will buy it all back substantially faster, So I just don't see the benefits. If somebody can convince me with some like logical arguments, I'm very open, because I, in principle, don't see any issues with this. But I also don't see any tangible benefits. Yeah, so this is the problem here, guys. I like by the way, I like your nickname, Free European in Russian. Why should they launch new meme coins when we already have PETA? Yeah, PETA is like I launched PETA, but somebody else can launch their own meme coins, of course. And I'm not sure about this like idea in general. I'm just like stating the facts. People love meme coins. It's not good. It doesn't make sense. It's very it's useless. But people do that. Maybe it can be somehow used for something good. Maybe they can start making sense. I can see those platforms on Solana. I checked them yesterday. Pump.fun and the other one, where you can launch your own meme coin. It's very easy to do on Waves, and it was very easy to do starting from 2016. So, but you need something else. You need to actively promote that. And I never actually expected this like hype around meme coins, because it's too simplistic, in my opinion. It's just based on trading and speculation, and there is no intrinsic value and utility. It's basically a pure gamble. But it seems to work. So I'm not sure that we want to really go into that direction, but waves actually could serve as a very nice chain for launching memes, because somehow, like, from user perspective, it's pretty similar to Solana, or Solana is similar to Waves because Solana launched much later, they're like similar in terms of user experience if you take a closer look, actually. Very different technically, but user experience is similar. It's very easy to launch your token, it's cheap, there is like order book DEX, so if somebody does it on Waves, that would be good. Do you plan to support the price of an SBT? Not directly, man. When and if there is like a new project, new index on units, for example, from the former Neutrino team, there's going to be some airdrop to NSBT holders, as it was promised. So it should actually support the price. Booga Booga, also a good name. Good afternoon, Sasha. What do you think about the future of cryptocurrency? What is needed to perfectly integrate DEX into city economy? What do you mean by city economy? Okay, to your first question. Cryptocurrency is is here to stay, This is what I can tell you. And it's going to be really hard to get rid of it in this stage. And nobody wants to do so, actually. Governments, they actually learned to live with crypto because it's something that they understand, actually. It's like an asset, like digital gold. And you try to, if it becomes big, you try to buy up as much as you can and control it. But this is like a normal game for them, This is what they're like accustomed to. So it doesn't change anything. Bitcoin doesn't really change anything, unfortunately, because it has become very centralized, and basically the usual suspects will have most of the supply, bankers and those type of guys, because it's like a regular asset, so you buy as much as you can and you're good, and you buy it with dollars, right? And there is no utility, so basically you can't buy like things with Bitcoin in a very easy way. No, you can do something, but it's pretty small and it's really hard to find those merchants who are willing to accept Bitcoin, and it's not really convenient to use it for payments because of its volatility. So there is a lot of issues. So it's mostly a speculative asset. And at the stage, crypto just created a new class of speculative assets. If it's going to be something more to that, let's see how it goes. I believe in DAOs, actually. So let's see how it goes, because blockchain can really turn things around. It can really change the fabric of society. But it's not doing it. You need to understand what it did. Up to now, we just created a new class of speculative assets. That's it. But let's see how it goes, and let's try to do something meaningful. As for the city economy, I'm not sure that I'm following. First part of your question is about DEXs. Yeah, DEXs will live, but there's going to be a lot of pressure from regulators, obviously. But they won't be able to turn them off, because even the infamous mixer on Ethereum chain, Tornado Cash, is still working, despite the fact that its developers are basically in jail or more or less hiding in Russia. But the contract itself is still there, so it's not going to be so easy to kill those dexes, and I think more robust dexes will emerge, and they will be also more usable, because success win centralized changes win because the interfaces are better and it's easier to use them, and you can do a lot of marketing stuff on centralized exchanges. And they're very good in terms of like onboarding, like they've made incredible progress, incredible. And also like I checked some exchanges now, and this is like a very far cry from what exchanges were even a few years ago, let alone those exchanges that were around in 2016, for example. It's like huge progress in terms of marketing. So DEXs are lacking in this respect because it's pretty hard to do that marketing, to do those marketing tools for DEXs. But someone will figure it out, and we will have DEXs very usable and very convenient for trading soon. And let's see how it goes to them. So maybe DEXs will have their market share, because otherwise it's not going to be good. We will have very big platforms, maybe a few, it's not going to be a lot, maybe 10 platforms that control all the crypto. It's very centralized. It's even more centralized than the current financial world. It's worse. It's not better. It's worse. So, and news about DAO governance. I did a nice podcast about DAOs yesterday with Oli. I'm gonna do more, I think. It's a bit not what we are doing now in terms of like focus, but I think we should start talking about the DAOs. In terms of like actual products, there is a Telegram bot for Power, which is being tested in the community right now. In terms of go-to-market strategy, I haven't decided yet. We need to maybe think about some massive onboarding of Telegram users, and I am not completely sure how to approach this better yet. So because I have some people I'm talking to who could probably bring around 10 million people into those chats, but we need to have some very clear model here. So the question is whether they're gonna participate, because those guys, they participate in like those things where you tap on something. What would be the correct name for it? I don't know, tappers or whatever you call them. But are they going to participate in a DAO? This is a serious question. And I'm trying to understand how we should approach that huge Web2 community that exists on Telegram and bring it to the DAO world. What is happening over at West? Waiting for the new wrap token on Waves from Pepe team. You already said that you are collaborating with VCs, but what exactly do they want from Unit's network? Launch your own projects or get a share of Unit Zero? Yeah, basically they're like participating in the seed fund, which is basically closed, and in the next rounds. And what VC usually do, so basically good VCs, they invest in you, and they also make sure that your product grows afterwards. So in crypto, it means that VCs invest in the seed round, and also they bring some projects. If you launch, for example, NL1 or like an ecosystem of L2, L1s, as we do, they will be helping with onboarding new projects. Obviously, this is what VCs do because they have a lot of connections. They know a lot of projects, and they can just like call or message guys, tell them guys, we're like launching a new chain, so we are investors, and we want you to launch there as well. So this is how it works. It's all about connection. Virus Garant's page is down, by the way. Okay. Okay. Then I like take my comment about Virus proposal back. I will take a look. Who is building the Unit Zero testnet bridges right now? The same guys that built the core product, just core Waves team. Basically, they have been with Waves. One guy is with Waves since day one, and another guy, lead developer, and the other guy has been with us since 2017. Alexei Kisellev is with us since 2016, like since day one, actually. He was one of the guys who coded the original Waves code. Mr. Perks, hi. By Hoktoa. It's a very weird meme. I'm not sure that people like outside the US understand what it means, yeah. But the girl is cute. It's like she's not really cute, but she's kind of like endearing. Do you have any plans to support the price of NSBT indirectly? So I'm not gonna be buying it, man. That's for sure. Yeah, native bridges, as Galka said, bridges are not like some kind of external bridges. They're like a part of the system. So it's like they're like inseparable from the core of the network. Will Waves 2.0 launch at the same time as Unit Zero? I don't know what you understand under Waves 2.0. In a way, like Unit is a part of Waves 2.0. And I think after we have launched Units, we will work on Waves layer itself. But it's a bit too early to say what it's going to be exactly. We need more marketing starting next week. Next week, you hate when I say next week, but as I said at the beginning, and I can repeat, on Monday we start with the influencer campaign, KOL campaign, generic, not localized. So it's English language, Twitter, mostly YouTube. And on Tuesday, we start with TVL for Waves. When alt season? I don't know. So like I mentioned it today, I think some major shit is brewing in the US right now. So if they replace Biden, I think something might happen before the US elections. So it's interesting what's going to happen next, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Like actually, I'm. There is no conspiracies in the world, guys. Shit just happens. There's no conspiracy. But in this case, I think they have a plan, because they have made those like the debates sooner, than they had to do them, and it's like probably like the earliest debates in American history, because the elections is still like several months away, but they're debating already, so it's weird. So there's some plan, and let's see what's gonna happen, and it's really hard to predict. So I'm not gonna try to make any forecasts. Let's just see how it goes. Yeah, but it's a possible scenario, so because I think they will replace Biden, and it will have a positive impact on financial markets if it happens. By city economy, I mean the question of how to base city economy ecosystem entirely on crypto. Yeah. Actually, Buga, good question, but no, I can actually discuss it at length, but I don't think we have time. But if you look closely, crypto payments are not growing, you know. So I think we have approximately the same volume in crypto payments as we had 5 years ago, you know, which is extremely weird. So crypto is not working as a payment instrument. It's working as a speculative asset, unfortunately. So I'm not sure that this will change in the near future. Maybe if we can try and build those like separate ecosystems, not trying to integrate crypto, DAOs, and similar things into existing ones, it's going to be easier. Now, if we try to build some like autonomous city somewhere in Latin America, for example, and this is possible, or in Africa, and people are trying to do those things actually, you know, maybe we can just integrate crypto from the beginning, you know, from scratch. But it's really hard to integrate it into the existing models because nobody seems to be very interested, unfortunately. If you look at it, because major attempts have been made. Even Tether, for example, have been like heavily promoting crypto payments in Switzerland, because they have some kind of headquarters in Switzerland, and they were trying to push payments in Bitcoin, not even in USDT, but in Bitcoin. I haven't seen any traction, so it's all very small somehow. Because people are like perceiving crypto as a speculative asset, and that's it. And of course, you have USDT, USDC, but they're like mostly used for trading as well, because you trade against them on DEXs, for example. And USDT is used for like cross-border transactions a lot, of course. It's a very gray area. And USDC is trying to do something in terms of like actual utility. Let's see how it goes. Because I understand their plan. Actually, they're trying to maybe create some alternative to CBDCs, to central bank digital currencies. And I think it might work out for them, because I don't really believe in CBDCs. It's not that they're bad; they're obviously bad. But I think they won't be launched. They're not gonna get any traction anytime soon, because nobody needs them at the end of the day, if you think about it for a while. But maybe next time I will have more time to discuss it. But mark my words, there's not going to be any major CBDCs. What about your plans? Share them. Mejoras Spanish que es. I don't speak Spanish that well. I actually don't speak Spanish, can understand something, but not so well. Yes, guys. So Latin America and Spanish-speaking world is huge, and we need to do something there. And we will. Why do you need a TVL campaign units? Man, to attract liquidity, so because why people do TVL campaigns? Because that TVL is sticky. For example, in Blast did the airdrop, as far as I know, last week. Some people were unhappy. I'm not gonna discuss it. But the idea was the following: basically, they had a lot of liquidity uh, deposited into Blast during this like retro campaign, and basically that liquidity was transferred to the Blast layer after the retro drop is over, and some of it will stay there basically. So it's some kind of sticky liquidity, you know. So you basically get the users to use your product, right? They stake something with you, and some of it stays in your smart contracts in your ecosystem. So this is the idea here. Of course, you know, it's very simple. Um, on TVL, we receive our invite codes. Well, I think invites won't be for waves, but for the other assets, because we have to be flexible, you know. So, and we have to like regroup based on what happens to waves and like to other things. And you all know about the Binance thing, and it had some impact. So we have to, you know, change our plans basically on the fly. You know, it's I think we will launch waves TVL without invites, but other assets will be invite based because we have to support waves now, guys. Think about it. We're worth $1. They are worth 600. It is a great Bitcoin mine. You know, you mean BNB? Yeah, BNB is doing well. What about XT investing? I no, for now, no. So I'm not gonna release it because basically I had this voting in Waves DAO internal group, and it was 60 to 40 in favor of release, but it's pretty inconclusive in my opinion. And I don't see like major benefits, really. So if somebody can convince me, somebody can maybe just like make some blog post about that, giving all those benefits, I would be grateful, you know. So, but for now, it's mostly an emotional decision. Just like let's just release it, you know. I feel you guys, but in my opinion, it's an emotional decision, and it's not really well thought through because it's not gonna lead to any tangible benefits. So let's just wait a bit. And let's get units running, and then we can discuss this question again. Ask me something else. Is L2MP low price an issue for unit launch? No, it's no. It has not. It doesn't have any bearing on a unit launch. Just like doesn't matter actually at all. And it was released from staking because some people wanted this, and it wasn't some kind of like, in this case, it wasn't a very deliberate action because he requested it, and okay, so you actually can ask the same about XTN. Why? Why it's not done to XTN? But XTN has some legacy, you know, so it's a bit different in this case. Why you see that lame duck? What lame duck? Which don't use crypto. The guy has a name, don't use crypto. My man. Neutrino index on Tom, please. We need to move on. It's hard to develop on Tom, actually. So Tom. It's a pretty weird platform, but I'm not gonna comment further. I plan on marketing. Yes, exactly. We're starting marketing on Monday. UL marketing. Waste time is gone. And now you will hear the world's smallest violin playing. Will the first user side chains launch soon after the plot launch? Immediately, yeah. The goal is to launch units and immediately after that launch several other chains. Or rather have several other chains launched by other teams. That would be correct, because we're not going to be launching them themselves. This is not right. Because we did it as well, and actually a lot of crypto ecosystems do this. They launch infrastructure layer, and then they build on top of that infrastructure layer themselves. This is customary practice. So, but it's not good, because if you're building a product for other developers, you need to have those other developers. So our goal is to have several chains launched immediately after Even Zero has been launched, but they have to be launched by other teams, not by ourselves. So Nami, please arrange a Waves ETF in Moscow. I think ETFs are gonna work only on the US market. So they launched Bitcoin ETF in Hong Kong, but the volumes are really small. Although there is tons of money in Hong Kong. I was in Hong Kong a couple months ago, and there is tons of people with money there. It's crazy. But as you can see, maybe it's some other kind of money. So they're not trading so much and on traditional exchanges as Americans do. So, and in Russia, because I lived in Russia most of my life, it's even worse. So if they launch some kind of ETF on Moscow Stock Exchange, it's gonna be tiny. And they're very, very conservative as well. Yeah, I know the guys more or less. We tried to do something with them maybe 5 years ago, and they are very conservative. And now they're also under American sanctions, so now they can't trade USD. So it's a big problem for Russia. Not a huge problem, but it's some kind of a problem, because we don't have a market for USD now in Russia. So it's only peer-to-peer. They don't have a centralized platform to trade US dollar, which is kind of hard. Come back to Fund Group. I don't see any reason, because I'm in so many groups by now, so I would love to be in less groups. After the launch of these side chains, Waves miners will start receiving more income. Exactly. Yeah, that's the idea, actually. This is going to be some kind of yield farming for miners, when you can support several chains and earn the tokens from all those chains. It's a new idea. It's a unique idea. So basically, if you support 10 chains, maybe not on one server, maybe you can install several, but you get to earn APY from all those chains. Nice idea. If you not follow trend in crypto, your project is dead. But what if you try to set the trends, man? And what if you don't like the current trends? What do you think? What should you do? So it's just a question for you to think. If you think that the current trends are shit, you know. So I'm not saying anything else. Just think about it. Yeah, man. So I basically now like have a like talking to teams who are launching those tab things with tens of millions of users, so I know what you're talking about better than you, much better, really. So don't tell me about those things because I'm like in direct contact with people who do that, so but those like tapper things, they're like more or less that, and there's now gonna be a new mechanics, I think, that will be more successful. And the question is how we want to approach this, because I really want to do something, but I need to make sure that it will have some traction. So I'm thinking about the right go-to-market strategy for Telegram. Market leaders don't follow trends. Yes, they are the trend setters. As by the way, Pavel Durov is actually. Now, you can have like different ideas about Pavel, but he doesn't know how it works. That's for sure. And he doesn't care about like market trends either. You can just type in Russian. It's not a problem. Yeah, I'm addressing не юзай crypto guy. How do we keep shitcoins from units? New chains will be launched through the DAO. So basically, the DAO, ecosystem DAO, will decide what chains should be launched. So that will keep some shitcoins away. Maybe not all of them, but you have to have some balance because you don't really know if it's a shitcoin or not. You know, at all times. So sometimes it looks like a good coin, but it turns out to be a shitcoin. So we must all do marketing memes, guys. Yeah, if you want us to launch some meme contest, let's do it. This is a very widespread marketing tool, meme contests. Everybody's doing it, so maybe we should as well. Building bridges between these hot blockchains. This is what Pepper team does, actually. I think they're gonna have the town bridge pretty soon. You're living in the past, man. Maybe some other time. I won't be like I don't have energy now to discuss it. So. There is like, well, just one sentence, man. There is a lot of alternatives, but what do? They allow you to trade meme coins. Okay. Do you think that this is something that the world really needs to be able to launch your shitcoin and pump it and sell it to some suckers? Is it what we need? Like, because everybody is doing this. So you build those platforms basically now to launch meme coins. And even marketing teams, they prefer to work with meme coins now rather than with like serious projects because it's much easier to market a meme coin than to market some kind of like the app or layer one or something else. So And you like the situation? I, for one, don't really like it. So if you like it, it's okay. But this is not something that I was aspiring to when I launched Waves. How are the talks going with VCs? I would say slow but steady. Yeah, so we're gonna have uh, the end result for sure. To make a good competition to Binance, Ethereum, and Solana. Sure, we will try to do that. Maybe based on some other principles, because so if I somehow, because I mentioned that Waves in terms of like user experience is very similar to Solana, and we had all those features back in 2016. So you might ask me whether I regret that we haven't achieved what Solana achieved. But I really, honestly, absolutely, 100% honestly, will answer you that I don't regret that, because launching 10,000 meme coins per day on your chain is not something that I would be proud of. So, because what sense does it make, guys? It's like useless. Um, let's try to do something which is useful, which basically makes everyone happy. Not like some people win, some people lose. It's a zero-sum game. Let's create something which is not zero-sum. Не use crypto, ты можешь по-русски писать. Important question is, and when is Orion being implemented? I'm not really following, so I think we will use them as a liquidity provider once units have launched. I like their idea actually. So they're like Alexei worked in Waves, and that was his idea, 100%. Of course, he used something that he took from Waves. I mean, in terms of like ideas and stuff. But the idea was to basically provide liquidity from centralized exchanges to decentralized ones, which is a nice idea. Yes, and it really didn't get a lot of traction as a standalone DEX, but now they're like focused on B2B, and I think it can work out for them. So we're gonna be using them for liquidity for sure. If only they knew that Orion means something to Satoshi. What exactly? I'm not aware of that. Okay, guys. So yeah, so maybe I will stay with it for a while, but somehow I'm not feeling too good today. And it can work out for ways. We will just use them as a liquidity provider, yes. So because now they work like a B2B platform, basically. So they provide liquidity from centralized exchanges to DEXs. Good idea. Yes. Question in Russian, actually, not a bad one. Uh, uh, the guy basically said that there is no like stable coins, algorithmic stable coins with a small fee. Yeah, algorithmic stable coins. are kind of dead. DAI is alive, but let's see how it goes. So basically they were brutally murdered, including our beloved USDM. And I'm not gonna go into conspiracy theories, but this is the case now. And basically, DAI is also backed by USDC currently. They have a lot of USDC in their treasury. It's a brutal market, guys. So when you try to create something that can serve as money, you have a lot of eyes watching you. So I think there's going to be another wave of interest for algorithmic stables. And actually, there is a question how to approach them from purely technical perspective, because those mechanics that we used in USDN and Luna guys used in Luna, because they were a bit similar. Luna was much crazier, but there are similarities. Obviously, those mechanics will never be used again, at least successfully. And the only approach you have is something like DAI, which also has its drawbacks. So I think that probably we shouldn't try to build a stable coin. We should try to build a low volatility asset, which can basically compete with national currencies. But it doesn't have to be like tied to them. That could work out, in my opinion. And yeah, more questions about stables. You have back stables which are working. USDT, USDC are working fine. So you have this counterparty risk when basically, for example, their bank can go bankrupt or something. But this is like everybody is willing to live with, so because and nobody's trying to create anything algorithmic anymore because it's kind of dangerous, I think. If it grows big, you have to be worried about what's going to happen next. So no new stable coins. And if they want to buy USD in Russia, as you write here, they can use USDT, and they do. Okay, neutrinos is good. Yeah, it was good while it lasted. Let's put it like that. Okay, guys, so wrapping it up. Next week, infamous next week. On Monday, we start with QLs. On Tuesday, we start with QL with waves. And yes, bridges are being tested. The final piece of units puzzle. And that's it. Marketing starting. Yeah. I came here to tell you that again. So I love you all. Yes, just Polex. The problem is the community. We do very little and we do everything on the shoulders of the developers. I'm not gonna go into that direction, guys. No, so I partially agree with you, but people in the community have other things to do, so it's like you participate in something, but you also have your day job, you have your family, so you can't demand too much, Yeah, but on the other hand, when people just want, just blindly make some money, and when they don't make it due to some reasons, you should also question their commitment, because if you just like expect something for nothing, it's not really working out every time, so check secret peep chat. I'm not there probably, but I'll try. Maybe you can add me because I have a new TG. I'm not sure if you know it, but I message from my new TG in community chats quite often, so you can add me. Okay, guys, so that's it for today. Units is coming right on ways. Power to the people. I love you all. I wish you a very productive week. Till next Friday. Bye.